either you are moving forward because you're avoiding a pain that's pushing you forward, or you're pursuing a pleasure. Right? So you're either pursuing pleasure, like, man, I got to live that. I got to be able to take those trips. I have to be able to take my mom on vacation like that. You're either pursuing a pleasure or avoiding a pain. You're like, look, I won't live like this another year. I refuse to have this condition dictating the things I do and can't do.
But could it be that because of the pleasure? Can't it still be a combination?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It could be both. That's what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely.
Even in you saying that, you said it's this or that, but
it could be
I still
an and.
feel like it's usually an and.
Yeah, because the reason why you're not able to do this thing that you're pursuing is because of this.
And you're like, I'm not going to be here anymore because I want to do these things that are on the other side of that.
If you're a go-getter, faith-driven, and family-focused, and need to break through to your next level, this is the podcast for you. Your self-talk can reshape every area of your life. It's time to dream and think big. Welcome to the Self-Talk Experience with Darnell and Tracy Self. It's time to elevate, baby. Let's get into the show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Self-Talk Experience. I'm back.
B Self and T Self back with you. The Self-Talk Experience.
Yes.
Remember, the things we say to ourselves about ourselves eventually determines what we attract for ourselves.
And sometimes who we attract for ourselves.
Very true.
Yes.
Very true. And speaking of attracting for ourselves, we want to talk about something that causes many people to propel forward and succeed in life, and causes others to either start and stop or never even pursue.
What is that?
Their reason why. And we've heard it. I mean, many people have heard it. I shouldn't assume, but many people have heard, if you know your why, the how doesn't matter. You'll figure out how.
Yes.
And if your why is strong enough, you'll figure out how to do it. You won't stop going for, those type of things. But we've heard it said WHY, and some people say it's an acronym, right? Like what helps you.
Or sometimes what hurts you.
That's right. Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, what helps you to stay motivated? What helps you to say, I'm getting up early, I'm staying up later. I'm gonna give a little bit more than I ordinarily would. I'm gonna sacrifice some things that I normally wouldn't sacrifice.
Right.
Or, man, this would hurt me. If this happened, this would hurt me. And so if I do this, though, I won't have to worry about that thing that would hurt me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like one of the things that I know would hurt me, and one of the things that drove me in our business when we first started, having success in our business, and what kept me going was we had enough success to pay our bills, and we had enough success to buy some nice trappings.
Sure.
But I started to think about, man, our kids are getting older. And what if they don't get scholarships?
Right.
What if they want to go to these, schools that cost $40,000, $50,000 a year in tuition, and they qualify, right? They say, Mom, Dad, I got in. Oh my gosh, my dream school. And we're like, oh my gosh, baby, we're so proud of you.
And then we weren't able to assist them.
And then we say, but you can't go.
Right.
You have to go to this school.
Right.
That would hurt me. Right, it would genuinely hurt me. So those are the things that drove me. I thought, and don't get me wrong. I know, there's a debate on whether formal education is necessary and all of that, but you get my point.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So that's what this is about. And I never forget doing a training session talking about this very thing. And I said, hey, listen, if anyone would like to share their why, feel free to do so at this time.
Where were you?
I was in Largo, Maryland.
Oh, wow. You were home.
Yeah, I was home.
How many years ago? Do you remember how long ago it was?
Oh, man. I don't know, probably like 10, 15 years ago. It was a long time ago. And I was training on the why a lot back then.
Okay.
Because I knew it was the difference maker.
I just wonder, I'm only asking that because I wonder why this particular story, whatever you're about to tell, resonated with you, because you have so many stories and some stuff you don't even remember.
Yeah.
But for you to remember this particular story, I just wonder.
I think because I'm a big family guy and it was about his child.
Okay.
And so I think that's one of the reasons.
Sure.
So I said, would anybody like to volunteer? And he raised his hands. A room maybe of only 40 people
Okay.
who were taking this training course. And he says, I said, what's your why? And he said, I want to make $10,000 a month. And I was like, man, that is huge, man.
That's
Congrats.
a lofty goal.
Yeah, I said, that's nice, right?
Yeah.
And because of where he was at the time,
Yeah,
right? And
absolutely.
you talk to somebody, you're going to think only 10,000, but for him,
No, I know, but to be in the
Yeah.
beginning stages
yeah,
and
absolutely.
throw that number out there is a
So
huge
he's like
deal.
10,000. Yeah, he was like $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that's awesome. Why? Why do you want to make $10,000 a month? And he says, I want a big house, man. I said, man, that's great, man. Big houses are nice. So if you don't mind me asking, why do you need a big house? And he's like, well, and he starts to hesitate. So I say, if I'm getting too personal, man, you can stop. And he's like, no, it's okay because it's in front of other people. So he says, because my kids share a room right now. And I said, what's wrong with kids sharing a room? I guarantee if you talk to a lot of siblings, they're going to say, oh, I shared a room with my sibling.
I did, yes.
Yeah. And so he said, well, because I have 3 kids, 2 boys and 1 girl. And he says, my daughter's getting older now and she wants her personal space and is not as comfortable now that she's becoming more mature in the same room with her brothers. And I said, how do you know that? How do you know this? And so remember, this is in front of everybody. And he's like, because remember, he was like 10,000, bigger house. And now his tone's changing.
And his energy is different.
Yeah. It's thoughtful too.
Yeah.
Right. And he's like thinking between each answer. And he says, I said, how do you know this? He says, because she tells me.
Wow.
I said, what does she say? And she says, Dad, when am I going to get my own room? I said, when does she say this? He says, every night when I go to kiss her, good night, I kiss her on the forehead and she's like, I'm getting my own room. Right, Dad? He said, it may change, but it's always, am I going to get my own room? I'm getting my own room, right? It's always something like that. And I said, how does that make you feel? And he said, honestly, sometimes I turn around because I don't want her to see me break down. Because in my current career, I'm not sure how I will ever get to a place where I can get them their own rooms.
Wow. Wow.
And by this time, his energy is completely different, right? And I said, that's your why. It's not the $10,000 a month.
Not the house.
It's not the house. It's not just separate rooms. Because again, I'm an only child, but most folks, I would imagine, either have kids, like our kids have shared the same room before. Right? But knowing that he could not do what it was his daughter was asking every night, mess with him. And I said, that's your reason why. So the next time you think about not picking up the phone, making a call, because this is in sales and marketing.
Right.
The next time you think about, you know what, I just can't take another no. I want you to say, this one's for my baby girl's new room.
Wow.
It's not for 10 grand. 10 grand, you're like, I'm good for the day.
Yeah.
Because it's just 10 grand. There's no emotion with that. It's like you're going to disappoint the 10 grand. Right? But when it's your baby girl, and you're making a promise to yourself that, you know what, I'm gonna get you that room.
Yeah. And yeah, sometimes your why, it hurts you.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it helps you.
Yeah.
Because for you, just watching you over the years, I don't know if you had any hurt in your why. You were always wanting to help other people. It was always about someone else and what you could do for them. Because even after it was about us paying our bills, like you said, it was about what we were going to do for our children. And even after that, you were wanting to do stuff for our parents and our siblings. Like you're always wanting for other people. So is that sometimes a why?
Yeah. And typically, no. Yeah, certainly it is. But sometimes it's about peeling the onion back.
But
like,
yeah, that's interesting too, because the story you just told about the gentleman, it was both.
Yeah.
It was for someone else and it was hurting.
Yeah.
It was both components combined.
Yep. Yeah. So what would help you to say, I'm going to get up a little earlier? So you're right. What would hurt you if this didn't happen? So you're right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A little bit of both. And my initial why, which is so crazy because the why is personal to you. It's personal to you. So you can't say, well, let me try to figure, so it's got to be about your kids. No, it doesn't. Right? Someone doesn't even have kids.
Yeah.
So it's got to be personal to you. And if you're not driven to consistently do the thing you said you're going to do, then you haven't identified your real why. Bottom line.
Wow.
Period.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, fam? You got to connect with J&E Builders. They buy homes in any condition. J&E Builders even help out with distressed properties. And if you're dealing with a significant amount of taxes, J&E Builders will assist you with that home as well. Give them a hit at J&E_builders. That's at Instagram at J&E_builders.
Hey, Self Talk Experience family. If you want to do some great shopping and get great finds like this, follow my girl, thebrianna.k on Instagram. And if you want to shop, go here.
So author and trainer Monte Sanders has been in this health and wellness space for over 20 years. His most notable clients are NFL Hall of Famers Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. And guess what? He's got an Amazon best-selling book that you can gain access to right now. It's The Power of You versus You. I'm going to tell you right now how you can get access to that and his other programs. All you have to do is go to thepowerofyouversusyou.com. That's it. Thepowerofyouversusyou.com to get access to that amazing book as well as all of his other programs. Hey, what's up, Self-Talk Experience family? Listen, I thought I was going to get some bathrooms renovated, but I had no idea when I connected with my man, Stan Neal, that it would be more than a renovation. I'm not even sure what the term should be. Maybe transformation, because I started with the bathrooms and all of a sudden my entire basement was redone in a way that my family members thought I moved. Seriously. So if you're looking to take your house to the next level, whether it's some custom construction, some transformation of your bedroom, your bathrooms, your family room, your great room, I did it all. I mean, if I showed you my entire house before and after pictures, in fact, I'm going to show you some, you would say, no way is that the same room or the same house. Listen, I'm just saying this because I've got personal experience with this gentleman. So you want to connect with him, I'm going to give you the number, his office number to reach him, as well as email. And again, you will not be disappointed. So if you want to reach him via his office number, 202-359-3923. Again, 202-359-3923. And email is Stan, Stan.nealjr, Nealjr, at freshairllc.com. Connect with my man Stan. You won't be disappointed. Like if you say I'm getting up an hour early extra because I feel like I'm running out of time to accomplish my goals, and you hit snooze, you haven't figured out your real why. Bottom line. And it's okay. I'm not beating up on folks. I'm just saying I already know they haven't figured out their why yet, because their why says I'm up, I'm tired, and I'm still up. You know what I mean? I didn't get the hours of sleep that I planned on, but I'm still up.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can't believe I promised myself I'm going to get up this early. I really don't feel like it. And I still get up.
Yeah.
So when we first started our entrepreneurial venture with PPLSI, it was tough because we had the bill collectors calling.
Right. We did.
So this one was very unique because, you want to say, well, what's wrong with bill collectors calling? I didn't need to go any deeper. And because this one, disrespect is a trigger of mine, as you know, as my wife.
Right.
And the bill collector who called, guys, was like, when can we expect payment? I said, I'm not really sure. I don't know when my next check is coming in. Why don't you know when your next check is coming in? And I said, because I don't work a job. I'm running my business. I'm working on my dream. She says, you need to work on a reality and get a job.
Why did you even have that conversation?
I didn't mean to. She just kept going. And
because most people would have hung up.
Well, I didn't. I don't know why. Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because that happened for me, not to me.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
There was a reason
I know
behind you actually staying on the phone.
Here's where it got. That wasn't even the disrespectful part. That was just her being a butt. The disrespectful part was when she said, you can't love your kids if you're not paying your bills on time.
Yeah.
Man, that tore me up.
So then that was something that hurt.
Yeah. Because I know how much I love my kids. And for anyone to say you can't love your kids, mess with me, because I know how much I love my kids.
It seems to me that every why is a little bit of both.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah. I never thought about it like that, but it sounds like it.
It sounds like it, because right before you started telling that story, I said, oh, yeah, yours are always about other people. it's never hurt.
But yet, there's
It's always the
some of
help.
it in it, right? They said that either you are moving forward because you're avoiding a pain that's pushing you forward, or you're pursuing a pleasure. Right? So you're either pursuing pleasure, like, man, I got to live that. I got to be able to take those trips. I have to be able to take my mom on vacation. You're either pursuing a pleasure or avoiding a pain. You're like, look, I won't live like this another year. I refuse to have this condition dictating the things I do and can't do.
But could it be that because of the pleasure? Can't it still be a combination?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It could be both. That's what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely.
Even
It could
in
be
you
both.
saying that, you said it's this or that.
But it could
I
be an
still
and.
feel like it's usually an and.
Yeah, because the reason why you're not able to do this thing that you're
It's
pursuing
because
with
of
pleasure
this.
is because of this.
And you're
pain
like,
sometimes.
I'm not going to be here anymore because I
Right.
want to do these things
Right.
that are on the other side of that.
Yeah, yeah. So look, the bill collector. Before I hung up, because you were the one, you don't even remember this, but you were like, just hang up, because I was like, it was bad. Adrenaline was flowing, and you were like, just hang up. So I said, what's your name? And she said, Bernadette. And I'll never forget it. And you now know the story because we put Bernadette's name all around the house. I put it where I brush my teeth in the morning, sun visor, which wasn't even my sun visor, was my father's, truck, because we didn't have a car. Yeah. But I put Bernadette everywhere because, you know what's so funny? You could actually wake up, go halfway through the day and not be driven to take your life to the next level. Yeah. Because life is just kind of blowing its wind. Mm-hmm. And because you never set a sail, life determines your destiny, determines your direction.
Right.
But I decided, you know what? No. I'm determining. You may blow the wind, life, but I'm setting my sail. And
did you feel like that so strongly before this call? Before this happened?
No, not as strong. I said I wanted to succeed. That's why I was an entrepreneur. I saw the vision. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm going to be successful. But I was not driven to have my daily disciplines become the habits necessary.
Your self-talk can always be there. It can always be positive, but it has to be something
it's a combination
that ignites in you to see it through.
Yeah, it's a combination of things typically, right? Because someone has the work ethic, right? But they're not coachable. They're like, I'm gonna do this my way. They work hard mowing lawns. Mm-hmm. They work hard doing what, and they're called to do something greater. And someone's like, look, I can show you. They're like, no, I don't need you to show me. It's like, yeah, but I want to help you.
Right.
So Bernadette, we put it all around the house. You remember that?
I do. And I wonder I know the two youngest won't remember, but I wonder if the two oldest remember any of that at all.
Yeah.
I wonder.
So we put Bernadette all around the house, and it drove me. When I woke up in the morning, I saw Bernadette.
It was in the kitchen.
Crazy. It was everywhere, right?
It was in the bathroom downstairs, the bathroom upstairs.
You can't even have company, right? Because they're like, who's Bernadette? Now you got to explain. Well, I wasn't paying my bills. But we put Bernadette everywhere. And this was the goal. The goal was we're going to call Bernadette. When we get to 10 grand a month, there's that 10 grand a month. That's funny.
Oh, yeah.
When we get to 10 grand a month, we're calling Bernadette, right? And I'll never forget, it was like a family affair, man. We were all taking down Bernadette from around the house. And I remember, because this is old school, we had the little speaker, it wasn't like a cell phone.
Right.
And
a landline.
Right.
We're dating ourselves.
And so we called, right? We called the company. And I said, yes, it's Bernadette there. And they were like, there's no Bernadette that works here. Not even like she's not here today. Like, there's no Bernadette that works here. And this wasn't years later.
No.
And so they were like, there's no Bernadette here. And I'm like, no. And I look, because I had grown, you know what I mean? I'd read the books, and I'd grown to be the person. I wasn't going to curse her out.
I hadn't grown to be that person yet. I wanted to talk to her. I
just wanted to say thank you. This is where I was. Check this out, y'all. I was at a place, baby. I was going to say thank you. Thank you for saying something that pushed me to do something that I wouldn't have done without you saying that something. Mm-hmm. Like, you pushed me to accomplish a goal, and she probably doesn't realize, because that's who she is, to be rude and disrespectful, right?
Yeah.
She probably doesn't realize. I'm sure I wasn't the only one. I just took it personally.
Right.
And so I wanted to say thank you. When they said she no longer works here, I'm like, no. And now I think that I was told that she was probably an angel because her name was Bernadette. And because of her, we burned a debt. In fact, we burned all of our debts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. We're talking about your why, and it has to change because you got to that certain point in your life. And after you did accomplish that, you had to change your why. Bernadette couldn't continue to be your
That's
why.
correct.
So I think that sometimes people, once they get to a certain point, it's like, oh, well, I'm here now. And then they get kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Instead of setting new goals and changing your
so
self-talk around a little.
So true.
To take you to the next level. Because there's always another level.
Yep.
Whatever you think is the highest level, there's always somebody higher than that.
Isn't that true?
Always.
Look, I remember, and no, we'll end with this because I remember, babe, someone said, I was talking about being stuck at a certain level. And so they asked me, so I answered. They were like, when was the last time you were stuck? And this was, years ago. And I was like, I was stuck at 900,000 and I really wanted to make $1 million a year. Okay. And I said, I know no one's feeling sorry for me right now, but yet I was stuck. And they were like, what do you think, caused you to be unstuck? And what was the reason why you were stuck? The biggest reason why I was stuck at 900,000 was that I was at 900,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What more can you do at $1 million that you couldn't do at 900,000?
So you just get stuck.
Because I didn't reinvent myself and go establish a brand new why. I was just trying to take the $900,000 income to $1 million income with the exact same why, with the exact same, drive that I had before.
Exact same self-talk.
Yeah.
If you have the same self-talk, you get the same results.
That's correct.
So once you get to that next place, you have to alter everything. Yeah. You have to alter your why. You have to alter your affirmations. You have to alter how you talk to yourself, what you're looking at, what you think. Everything has to change to get to that next point. Yep. And then once you do that, guess what? It changes again.
Yep. That was it. What you're looking at, what you're listening to, everything you just said. Absolutely right. Yeah. But that's the reason why. And at every level, what's holding people back from 100,000 is them making 50,000. We're like, oh, I'm making 50. So it's all relative. It's holding people back from 700,000 to 500,000. We're like, oh, I'm good.
Right. What's holding you back from 10 million? I make 5.
Man, you had to take me there, didn't you? Okay, let's on. Let's go. Listen. Self-talk. Things we say to ourselves about ourselves eventually determine what we attract for ourselves at every level. So let's shift what we say to ourselves at the next level so that we can attract the next level.
And really consider and get a great why, and you can do it. You can.
I trust it.
Thank you for listening to the Self-Talk Podcast with Darnell and Tracy Self. We hope you enjoyed. Be sure to rate and review this podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform. And we'll see you next time. And remember, talk good to yourself.
If you've ever started something and said to yourself, I'm not quitting until I reach the finish line, there's a perfect podcast for you. The We Won't Quit podcast by my man, Mike Humes, mailman and millionaire, never gave up. Not only did he have success, but he's helped a ton of other people do the same thing. He's going to be interviewing people who never stopped until they finish. So check it out. We Won't Quit podcast.